KPL welcomes you from the city of palaces, from Mysuru, and as much as you love your Mysore Park, you're gonna love Namma KPL as well, and you're gonna love the fact that Brett is with us. Brett, we're also to see the, I guess you could say, home team, because the Mysuru Warriors are going to be in action yet again today, and why not? Because Namma KPL returns to the city. They will be taking the Bijapur Bulls, who what a day you've had today as well, Brett.
I've had the best day ever. I met the Maharani.
You'd come to India and say that. Only Namma KPL can bring that to you. And what the other exciting thing, Brett, is once again, this is the home of T20 stars. There are at least 14 of them that ply their trade for some of the big cities in the IPL, and that's exciting for us. You do have pedigree in this tournament, and we've kind of already seen that.
We have, and what we have seen,
What happens, right? Let's find out what happened with the toss with Dean Jones. How that will be for someone like Abhimanyu with him, because he's one of those players that has that experience, that has a pedigree of playing for Karnataka and the KPL, what it means to him. A little earlier on the day, he was speaking to Fazal Khalil. Here's what Abhimanyu Mithun, one of our T20 stars, had to say. Players who we've identified, you give back to the experience, because a lot of the young guys, it's easier said than done, isn't it, Brett? Playing in front of television audience, playing in front of the light, because for the emerging players, this is a different ball game.
It is, and it's exciting though, and I think it's the fearless player that goes out.
Different dynamics that you get in this team, really, because as a cricket fan, you get to see all these players in different positions in their career. So when we look at some of the emerging players like Vijay Kumar, for example, he's going to be one of the bowlers that we have our eye out for. We saw him taking 2 wickets in the previous game for the Mysuru Warriors. Let's see what he had to say earlier on in the day. Let's get your opinion on that, Brett, because he is someone who's a little fancy himself. But yeah, of course he has that intent. He understands what he needs to do and what KPL means to him.
Yeah, and he also mentioned about the wicket as well. He thought the wicket helped him the other night, but you've still got to bowl.
Extremely tough, because remember, I don't think if most of you didn't turn out for that game, it was a game that was shortened as well, and that is the pressure of playing this format. T20 cricket is something else. Believe me, this man will tell you what you've seen as well. So you look at some of the stars who have that sort of experience. When you look at
surfaces, help and guide these kids coming through, and I say kids, the older kids as well.
Because a lot of them turn into kids when they see Brett Lee, because Brett Lee does this circle around.
Well, I'm getting older, so that, they actually feel like kids, so I don't know. But
we see them just running circles around Brett Lee. But speaking about young men, young gentlemen having responsibility, Karunaya, we spoke about him the other day as well, leading the Mysuru Warriors. Now look, when you bring up his numbers in T20, how does he improve his numbers?
Look, I think he's going to approach the game of cricket, whether it's test.
Confident. The first thing players will tell you is that they don't look at numbers like that. Look, those are just out there. But confidence is so key, not only in this format, but this is a triple centurion we're talking about. You'll always be in the history books, and yet you're in this situation where there are a few doubts. You've got to be made out of the stronger stuff to get through this, Brett, to make a stake of claim for India again, because that's what KPL is for Karun.
And he doesn't want to be that guy known as the person who scored 300 then got dropped. Play test cricket, but I want to see how he goes in the one day and shortened form now in 2020.
And we want to see how he goes today as well, because the Mysuru Warriors on, a couple of them got away from you, a couple of extras. You came back so well in this innings.
I think last 4 overs are important for us, because they all are big hitters, so that's why we keep changing the pace.
And they would have been pleased with 160. You must be happy with this being a total that you assume your team can chase down.
Yeah, I think 150 is a really good total.
Lineup, one of the boys we should watch out for?
I think Taha and Chipli are the more destructive.
Best to you in the next innings. Gentlemen, back to you. Brett Lee besides my side, because we want to hear those pearls of wisdom for you. First and foremost, we were just discussing, I had a chance to talk to the Mysuru boys while the match was going on, and they were aiming for 160, so you reckon just about 10 short there?
Yeah, I think they're about 10 short.
That first strategic timeout seemed really to work quite well for the Bijapur Bulls. And let's talk about Rondit More, especially towards the end. His second spell, picking up 4 wickets eventually. And as he mentioned, making sure that you don't let the big headers take the game away from you.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about,
Oh, absolutely, and there were some moments, in fact, because we saw those catches towards the end, which was pretty good, but a lot of the deliveries went up in the air and just kind of fell in no man's land, or just slipped through. So you wanted to see a little bit of better field placing and ground fielding. We haven't seen that much today. Yeah, it's still a little nervy.
Look, it's tough, because if you look behind us here, look, to me it's about putting yourself into a situation where you want to catch the
Able to ask you now from that point of view, especially whether you can look to defend this total. What we saw from Mysuru in Bengaluru was the fact that their paces did well. You had Vijay Kumar here, Salakshi, who came to the party, picked up the wickets early as well. How will these conditions suit them?
I think they'll suit him perfectly.
Who's kind of done this before, you know, someone who kind of knows.
A couple of times, but you know what?
Pearls of wisdom, do you know? You wanted this pearls.
It's a lot easier in the commentary.
Without a doubt, as I see you've been so influential just having a chat with the guys. For example, looking at some of the emerging players in this KPL, Vaishak Vijay Kumar, I mentioned him because he did the job.
Absolutely, and it's I keep saying I'm playing with confidence, playing with freedom, and they can go against each other sometimes, but what a great way to get yourself off to a brilliant start. Look to get through the first 6 overs and then to dominate. And you know, you do that with bat and ball, but certainly if you're going to do up there with the bat, you've got to make sure you get through the first 6.
But if there's one man who can stand in his way, let's have a look at Vaishak Vijay Kumar. We've analysed.
Notice so he has changed action a little bit. Watching those highlights there, and then watching the highlights from, you know, recently with small, but I like the way he bowls. I love his Yorker. Gets it right up there. He's deadly.
You were mentioning that while you were watching Ronit Murray playing, you know, just in his action and his run-up as well, how crucial that is to, obviously, your art.
Yeah, and look, I think so he'll be able to watch the highlights and what he's done well, and then
forward to pick up, to get those early win-rows against the Bijapur Bulls, who are a team that do have experience batting. This is not just Mohammad Taha. You certainly have likes of Bharat Chipli, their captain, who's been there, done that when it comes to Karnataka. And just imagine your first game in Mysuru. I mean, what could be better than getting your home crowd in the free? That's an interesting pressure there, isn't it?
A lot of pressure, but look, it's a wonderful place to play cricket.
These are the places where you're going to see, these are the opportunities to see the young talent of Indian cricket, the future generations, and we've got our eye on Mohammad Taha. Let's hear what he has to say. His favourite place in Karnataka is Coorg. Have you ever been to Coorg?
No. Well, I've only been here
Now you've been to Mysore now.
Yeah, I know. And I've rode
What
an
a day
elephant.
you had.
I've
What
rode an
a
elephant.
day you had. Yes, we managed to see some of the visuals actually during your commentary. The day out that Aman has happened. But I tell you what, have you tried the masala dosa yet? If you haven't, I'm going to convince you. Because the two captains are not just battling it out on the field, they're battling it out in the kitchen. Take a look.
Mayanti.
Yes, thank you so much. What an extraordinary, quintessential T20 game that we witnessed here in the first match in Mysuru here of this season of the Carbon KPL. I just want to take a moment to thank the party that is joining me and also thank all our sponsors here in the Carbon Smartphones KPL. The title sponsor, Titan Octane, news partner NDTV, fantasy league partner myteam11.com, print partner Vijay Karnataka, and eZone Entertainment. Thank you for your support. And gentlemen to the right, to the left here, thank you for joining me, who will help me give out some of the awards to the well-deserving players today. I'd like to say hello to Mr. Mickey Bunappa, Executive Director. So let's get things started here with we award. Help give this to Dikshanshu Negi, the Carbon Kamal catch. To help me give away the award now for the Octane fastest ball of the match, Mr. Vinay and Mr. Rao, if you could please do that for Vaishak Vijay Kumar. One about being fit in this format, isn't it? Our cult fittest player who will also get a 6-month subscription. Mr. Shri Talakpava, if you could help me do that so and give it away to Mohammad Taha, our cult fittest player. Our Cycle Pure Player of the Match will receive rupees 10,000 from Mr. Arnab Chatterjee. Please put your hands together for Nitesh. Good round of applause there for Gentlemen. We are ready for our Carbon Man of the Match, who will also get 10,000 rupees. I request Mr. Mickey Bunappa to help me give away this award to Vaishak Vijay Kumar. A word with me, please. Congratulations. All right, let's talk about your last 2 overs. The third, where you tend to go for a little bit of runs, and then your final spell. That was extraordinary. Those are the kind of overs that wins games. You did that today for your team.
Yeah, I mean, Karun told me to bowl just
very impressive numbers. You've got the wickets from the last 2-3 seasons of the KPL as well. What are you looking forward to in this season? How have you enjoyed being with the Mysuru franchise?
I think
Bigger smile on your face now. You can afford that. It was a tense situation. I'll speak to your captain more about the fact that the team is in a great position. Congrats to you. That was really something today.
Thank you so much.
As a captain, Bharat Chipli, to please have a word with me. Never ETBD on this side of the conversation, is it? But first and foremost, what an exciting game of cricket. Just purely, I think, as a cricketer, as a fan, you can appreciate the competitiveness that we saw today.
Of course, it was an absolutely cracker of balls.
Spoken like a true captain there, you have to nitpick. But let's talk about some of the positives, because early on you had a spell from Ranit Murray that made sure that it was an approachable target. You've got a great partnership going in the middle as well then.
Yeah, Ron.
Congratulations to you for starting your campaign in the Carbon KPL.
Thanks a lot.
Captain today, Karun Iyer now from the Mysuru Warriors. Would be pretty happy with the way things are at the top of the table there, Karun.
Very happy. I think it was a team.
Because at this stage it looked like Bijapur were running away with it. The last 2 overs changed it. Vijay Kumar, we spoke about that over. Did you always plan to bowl Shreyas? Did you always plan to give him the last?
Yeah, that was the plan.
Conversations going on between the two of you as expected because of the situation. What were you telling him? What was he telling you?
I was just telling him.
About you as well, because you managed to get the starts. Today you were a little more bullish at the top there. Are you happy with the way the ball is coming off the bat for you?
I think.
This one, right? So what's the plan there?
I don't have.
I'll have a word with your team before you leave for the Duleep Trophy, because job done now.
Yeah, we have about 5 days gap, and I think.
Trophy and the best to your team as well.
Thank you so much.
Mysuru Warriors now getting 2 out of 2 in a very short span of time. And with that, I'll hand you back to our commentators.